All right, here we go. Another episode of the Spirit of the North podcast. You have myself, KC Blueford, and my co-host, Mr. Derek Murray. Derek, what's going on today, bro? How we living?
Man, it's a good day. It's a good day every time we get to pod. So I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, we are missing Emil again this week. So Emil's job calls him to work pretty heavily at the end of the month. So um, sorry, dad duty as well. Emil's job calls him to work pretty heavy, so he won't be with us today. But that's okay. We'll keep it moving. In honor of Emil, we'll throw out a couple things for him. So it is Sunday, October 6th. So what are we at, like T minus 20 days till league starts?
Yeah, I think so. Something like that.
Okay,
We
okay,
got
it's exciting,
preseason
man.
going.
We do got preseason going, so we'll probably talk a few about that. You guys notice I got my son in the room. He's watching Paw Patrol. So trying to pod and do dad at the same time. So hopefully he keeps the volume pretty low. So um, so what we're gonna talk about today, D, we're gonna talk a little about the Eastern Conference, and then next week we'll probably talk Western Conference. We'll talk some media day. I want to throw in some betting. So betting is hot. You know, the last couple years, sports betting is starting to take over. They got shows, and it was funny because growing up, I remember it was like almost like a crime to bet on. You know, for sports analysts to talk about betting. Now it's part of their
Right.
shows and whatnot. So, and then we got a fun little hip hop thing at the end that I want to talk through. I feel like would be some good dialogue. So, um, let's get into it though. Let's get into it. So I'm excited, man. My 49ers lost today. So as we joke, I got on the pod. I was a little tight, but it just makes me more excited about hoop season. So let's talk a little bit about the Eastern Conference today. So as I previously mentioned on the pod, the NBA champion has gone back and forth. It's seesaw the last few years. So we, just kind of going back to what 20. We had Lakers, Western. We had the Bucks, 21. Then in 22 we had the Nuggets, and then 23 we had the Celtics. So if the theory continues, we're probably looking at a Western Conference champion this year. But who knows? Maybe the Celtics or some other team kind of change that. So growing up, let me know your thoughts on this. Growing up, we grew up in the Jordan phase. So the Eastern Conference was always, it was just might, right? It was strong. Then when we were young adults, I feel like the Western Conference was kind of dominant. So nowadays, what would you say is the strongest conference? The West, the East? What's your thoughts on that?
I still think, as far as depth is concerned, it's the West, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because from top to bottom, I think it's the most balanced conference. That being said, though, like I kind of spoke to last week, I definitely think that the East, as far as the top goes,
So top heavy, huh?
they might be right there, especially after, if my predictions are correct, I think that we might be saying the East, as far as the top talent goes, might have the best in the league for sure.
That's a good. It's an interesting thing because I was just thinking right now before we kind of dive into it. If we had to put three teams, who are the top three teams in the East? If we do the whole power ranking type situation, we got to go. I'm sure we both agree Boston's in there. But then we can. There's a healthy debate for two and three. So who would be your two and three with the Eastern Conference right now?
Right now, I gotta go with the Knicks. I gotta go with the
Okay,
Knicks.
I
I
agree.
know they're hot,
I
right? I
agree.
know it's
They
very
they
hot to
hot.
talk about the Knicks right now. But I think after what they did last season with a hurt Julius Randle, right? Now they have, in my view, a more improved roster at the spots that they were deficient at last year. You got to put them at number two. Got to.
Okay, who's your three? So we agree on that. So we got Celtics, Knicks. Who's your third?
I feel like the third is where you can get into that barbershop combo,
Yeah,
right?
this is okay. This is where it gets juicy. This is where it gets juicy, though, right? Okay, so who's your third team?
So really, it's what hill are you willing to die on, right? You could either choose the hill that has Paul George, who's been hurt pretty frequently in his career, right? And Joel Embiid, who, as you know, is not one of your favorite guys, right?
Not at all. Not at
Or
all.
you could choose to die on the hill with Giannis, who is, he's a proven guy, right? He's a champion. However, the last few seasons he's been, in and out of the lineup. And Dame Lillard, who, up to this point has not been able to get it done on the biggest stage. And then you add Doc, right? On top of
Oh, don't get me started at top.
that. You
Oh,
can't
oh,
forget
eight
about
Doc.
Doc Rivers, right?
Oh,
So it's
eight
like
Doc.
which hill do you want? And in my view, I'm more willing to take the risque hill, and I'm gonna go with Philly at number 3.
Okay. Okay, that's funny because I after everything that you said, I was like, I'm going Milwaukee. you said you said Joel, you said Paul George. I felt like you were further in my case. I was like, then you said Doc. I was like, yeah, no, I gotta go Mark. I gotta. Oh, I forgot Doc is with Milwaukee now. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe I stepped on my own foot here. Anywho, I'm gonna go with the Milwaukee Bucks. Yeah, I don't feel good about it, but I gotta go Milwaukee Bucks. All right, so let's kind of get into it a little bit more. So I want to start off by, we kind of talked about our top three teams. Like, who's the team that you're most excited to watch in the Eastern Conference? Like, who's, hey, when I tune in on a Thursday night, who am I looking forward to watching the most in the Eastern Conference?
Man, that's a good question because I think overall, and this is definitely West Coast bias speaking, right? I don't get up for pause, but I don't get up for the East. And I don't know about
Yeah,
you, but like
yeah.
I think ever since I was a kid watching hoop, like outside of the Bulls, right?
Uh,
And Cleveland, I never really got too excited to watch the East. But I think if I had to choose up on a squad that, like, when they're on TV, I'm definitely sitting down and tuning in. To me, it's got to be the Knicks.
we align
It's got
100%
to
the
be the
Knicks.
Knicks,
100% the
right?
Knicks. Hey, real quick on that, kind of go back. I wonder if we didn't get excited about the East. For one, obviously we're born in the West, right? So we're a little bit biased to the West Coast. But you got to think it was always the first game. It's always
Right,
the first game, right? So
right,
you might be doing homework, you know what I'm saying? You kind of feeling
right.
stuff out.
Moms ain't
By the
even
time
cooked dinner yet.
by the time you really kind of get to lock into a game, it's that 7:30 start time game, right? It's a little bit now. We're
Right.
both in Central Standard Time, so it's a little bit tweaked, a little bit different, but that's probably it. Let's talk about the Knicks though, because I had that out as my team to watch too. I personally feel like when the Knicks are good, it's just good for basketball, right? I've heard that my whole life, but as an adult now, I feel it, I see it. The playoff runs, like it's exciting. When the gardens pop and you got the sound bar, you got the sound going in the house, it just feels good, right? And now they actually have, for years, I felt like the Knicks didn't really have the tools, but now I feel like they got a legit team now that should and can win an NBA championship. What's your thoughts on the Knicks? What's your take?
This is definitely by far the best Knicks roster in my lifetime, right?
Yeah.
Because you say that, right? The when the Knicks are good, it's good for basketball, but it makes me think, like, why is that? Because for my entire lifetime, the Knicks have either been mid
Say the
or
least.
lightweight, not entertaining, right? Like there
Yeah.
was there were a few small windows. There was the Spreewell, Allen Houston, Larry
The
Johnson
Larry
Knicks
Johnson, yeah,
that
yeah,
were somewhat, like, they were gritty, right? But they
yep.
weren't like putting up buckets. Like it was like pretty
Nah.
low scoring, gritty basketball. Then you had the Carmelo, Jeremy Lin, Jay Kidd,
Hey,
Amari Stoudemire. Like
what
those were
else?
more exciting teams, but they weren't winning no chips. You know what I mean? Like
Nah.
that
Yep.
that was the Miami Heat,
Mm-hmm.
dominating during that time. So I
Mm-hmm.
think now by far this is the best Knicks roster, and for whatever reason, like you said, the adage is true. When the Knicks are good, it definitely feels better for basketball.
It for sure does. It for sure does. I think I'm excited to watch. I became honestly like I was a fan in college, fan in somewhat of a fan when he was in Dallas, but Jalen Brunson, he's won me over, bro. Like I feel like his his grit more than anything though, his clutch. I didn't realize how clutch he was. Like he single-handedly almost took them to the Eastern Conference Finals last year, and I feel like healthy shoot, just a healthy Jalen Brunson, they might have even beat the Pacers to kind of move on last year. Um, so I'm glad we both agree on the Knicks. That's cool. What about a player? And I want to kick this one off because it kind of ties into player and the team.
I already know who you gonna say.
I gotta go Dame Lillard. Did you know I was going
Oh,
Dame Lillard? Okay,
nah,
okay,
nah,
okay,
nah,
okay.
nah. I thought you were gonna go somebody else. I thought you
Okay,
were
nah, I'm
somebody
not. I'm
else.
not going no pro. I'm not going the process route. No, Dame Lillard is the one for me
Okay.
because I'm I'm a big Dame Lillard fan, and I feel like this is it. Like that's how I feel like this is it. Like for years it was like, yo, he's got to get out of Portland. He's got to get out. He got out first year in Milwaukee. Okay, he came to training camp out of shape. Happens, it's life. You've had a full off season of jail. You had a full off season of work. Like you're healthy. Like this is his time. Like you're in the Eastern Conference now. You don't even have to get through Steph anymore, right? You ain't got to get by Steph Curry.
Right,
Like
right.
you're in the Eastern Conference now. Like, and you have by far as a teammate, top 5 player in the league, maybe top 20-ish player of all time when it's all said and done.
This is
You
his
got
best teammate.
you got to get it done. Like you got it. Like who's the best player in their way right now?
Best player?
Best player in the Eastern Conference in their way to get from getting the title.
Man, I don't think it gets too much better than where they're at. Honestly, those two.
No.
Maybe.
Who do they have to get to? Like so, their opposition. Their opposition. Who's
Right.
the best player on their opposition? Who's the best player?
I mean, probably Tatum or Brown.
You got to get it done, Dame. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, Dame Lillard, you guys got to get it done because if you put a healthy Dame and Giannis, a healthy Tatum and Brown, maybe Tatum and Brown got more youth. They got better. They
Right.
obviously they got teammates to set and the other. It's not a 1 or 2 man sport, but yo, if basketball is one of the few sports that like 1 or 2 players can dominate, and I would love to see a Dame and Giannis, Kyrie, Braun 2016 finals. Like we ain't losing. We both dropping 40 type
Well,
scenario. So
I mean, a better question, Case, is at any given time, who on the East is going to be better than Giannis when they're on the court at the same time?
Yeah, not even if Tatum's if Giannis is at his best and Tatum's at his best for one game, I'm taking Giannis.
Facts.
He's just dominant, right? And now you got one of the best perimeter players of our generation with Dame. Like, I don't want to hear any more excuses, man. Like, this is it. This is it. So
I'm glad you're talking this way. I'm glad you're talking this way.
It's it, bro. Like yeah.
I'm right. I'm 100% behind you with it. I feel like I'm tired of the excuses. Last season, in my view, I thought Milwaukee made a win now move. And the fact that they didn't win now was a disappointment. It was an absolute failure in my book. And I know, cue the Giannis
injuries.
Nah. What did he say? It's not a failure.
Oh yeah. Don't miss me with that. Miss me with that, bro.
I don't want to hear none of that. I don't want to hear none of that. This is win now. All right.
Yeah.
This is win now. If you got to trade Chris Middleton, if you got to trade Robin Lopez by deadline, you have to do what you have to do to win now. All right.
100%.
I agree with you.
Yeah. So I had to get that off real quick. It's no pause. Had to get that off real, but yeah, that's who I'm looking forward to. That's one of the teams I'm excited to watch. More so, March, April, right? I don't want to see no 50-point games in December and then y'all out in the second round. Like, no. Give me April, May, June. I want to see y'all clicking. Lord willing, everybody's healthy, but they gotta bring it. So who's what about you? Player.
Man,
player / team.
So this could have gone many ways here. But just to spark, just for good podding, right? Just for the sake of podding, I'm gonna take it here.
Okay. I think I know what lane we're going down.
Jason Tatum.
Ah, my dog. Okay, let's get into it.
Yo, have we ever seen an NBA champion fall more after winning the chip than
Never.
Jason Tatum?
Never. Let's highlight that real quick. Let me highlight this real quick and correct me if I'm wrong. You win the hold on, backtrack. Eastern Conference Finals. You don't get the Finals MVP. Okay, cool, bet happens. Right, you an All NBA. Okay, happens. Steph didn't get it. Finals MVP. You go to the finals. The same dude beats you out for the Finals MVP. All right, cool, bet. Stuff happens.
But you're supposed to be the best player on the team, though.
You know, stuff happens. Stuff happens. But I'm going to the Olympics though, right? I'm going to the Olympics. I'm about to star. KD, this is me and KD's time. You got Braun. You got benched.
Unplayable.
No tick. No
Unplayable.
tick. But we want to play. We want to blame Steve Kerr. Okay, whatever. All right. You signing endorsements. You doing commercials. You got another baby on the way. You got LMA.
He's never been more visible. Jason Tatum has never been more visible than he was last year.
You still everybody's trophy celebration in the world, bro. Like you have no identity. So, all right, let's take it there. Let's talk JT, man. I just had to frame it up real quick.
Nah, you hitting the nail on the head, and that's where I'm at with it. Jason Tatum, for all intents and purposes, has the talent to be the guy in the league, right? He has the build, right? If we want to, I know you know young fellas out there watching who play 2K, you know y'all can understand. He has the GOAT build, right? Mm-hmm. This is if you were creating a player, you would want him to be 6'8" to 6'10", right? Mm-hmm. 7-foot wingspan.
With the handle.
Right around 215 to 220 pounds, right? With a solid jump shot, pull up or catch and shoot, and the frame to take it in and yam over the defender, right? But for whatever reason, even though he's very consistent, and this is not to disrespect what he's done up to this point. I mean, he was an All NBA player last year, right? A first team All NBA player last year. He is an extraordinary talent, but for whatever reason, he's just not moving that needle, right? And I feel like after the summer during the Olympics, I mean, he got hoed, basically, right? Pardon my French. He got hoed. So I feel like if this doesn't light a fire under him, if this doesn't create a dog, right? If we don't see the X-ray with 2 pit bulls in his chest, then nothing will. Nothing will. So I've got my eyes on Jason Tatum. I want to see Jason Tatum assert dominance on his squad. You can't fall back to the way. I don't want to hear this, man, he's doing what it takes to win. I don't want to hear that anymore.
No more of that.
They've won. We've been hearing that this guy could be the future face of the NBA. Anthony Edwards is going for it. I'm sure Ja is going to go for it, right? If we're talking American basketball here, I'm not talking about Luka or Jokic or, those guys. Shea, I'm not talking about those guys. I'm talking purely American basketball. Jaylen Brown is going for it, right? I need to see a dog inside Jason Tatum. Pause. I need to see it. Otherwise, after this season, I'm writing them off.
That's wild to say that though too. When you think about it, because bro is 27, right? Like he hasn't even hit his prime, but we're already to the point to where like we need to see more. Right?
I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the pull-ups.
That's what's crazy. The left the left side pull-up 3 that always clanks.
Like we can't get to the clutch. Like if I see another season where we get to the clutch moments and they're essentially relying on a spam action for Jaylen Brown because Jason Tatum is pulling up from 3 instead of going to the basket, I'm gonna lose my stuff. I'm gonna just lose it, man.
Wild.
Yeah. So That's where I'm at. I'm looking for Jason Tatum this year.
Nah, honest, I can't. I mean, we had our back and forth the whole playoffs. I'm like, this is his year. And to my credit, I mean, they won it. They for sure won it. But
Would you say this was his? Would you say that this was his shining moment?
it wasn't though. And that's what I was gonna say. Like, even it wasn't what I envisioned. You know, like I envisioned them getting a chip, and I envisioned Tatum taking that leap. But I feel like he took that step and kind of stumbled down, right? And now was kind of hanging off the cliff. I'm like, hold on, I'm still here, but I'm like hanging off the cliff. So I hope he comes back with hunger. I hope he just comes back and is like just pure dominance. Because all first team All NBA ain't gonna cut it no more. You know, he's done that a couple times now. So like that's almost the
Right.
expectation at his age. So all right,
You
what I
know
want
what
to
it
do
is,
is
2K.
yeah, what's
So
up?
sorry to keep harping on it, but you know what it is. Everything's too cute with him. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
it's a little too cute. Like I
Yeah.
get. He's a light skinned kid. You know what I mean? Good. Good hair, right? But everything is just too. Like I need to see him go without a lineup for a month.
Just
You know
just
what I mean?
K just KD it up. Just KD with the no cut for like a
No
2 months.
lineup, no product for a month.
No,
You know what I mean? And
I
let's see what numbers he puts up.
you know what's interesting about Tatum is like I feel like the world didn't necessarily know. We knew Tatum the basketball player, but we didn't know Tatum's personality and identity. And I
Right.
feel like post championship, the personality, like I feel like a lot of people are like, nah, he a little bit too
He's
light
not
skinned
like
for me.
us.
He he for sure ain't though. Like he's lucky he good at hoop, bro. Cause that's all right. Let me get off Tatum, bro. Let me no pause. Let me get off him though. I'm gonna mention a couple names or teams, and I just want you to share your quick thoughts on them. All right, we're gonna stick with the Eastern Conference here. So either quick, what'd you like to see? Just quick hitters here. Um, breakout player for the Eastern Conference, Jaime Jaquez Jr.
Mm.
What you think about that?
I don't hate that. I don't hate that. I'm very curious to see what his progression is. I mean, he had a
Yeah.
really good first year. I'm sure they're going to give him a bigger role. So I'm not mad at that. I'm not
Who's
mad at
it?
that.
Who's this comp?
Man, that's tough. That's tough because he plays big, but he's not really that big, right? Isn't
Is
he
he?
like six
Is it?
six, 6'8"?
Is is he kind of more like a? And I mean this all due respect. Is he more like a better offensive Draymond?
Like minus some of the playmaking, yeah, I would
Yeah,
say
yeah.
maybe,
But, but
yeah,
but I feel like if given the opportunity, could
he
do the
could do that.
playmaking. I mean, he did that at UCLA. You know what I mean? But they have Bam, so I feel like him and Bam are kind of like the same player in a sense. Bam is more defensive minded and obviously
Right.
has more time. But I feel
It's
like Jaime is kind of like that same ish player.
it's giving offensive fulcrum. You know
Okay.
what I mean? Like you could get
Yeah,
it to
yeah,
him and
yeah,
like
yeah,
kind of run an offense through that. And he does really good on when he's posting a big,
yeah.
like he punishes bigs like
Yeah,
really
he's
well.
physical. I
Yeah.
mean, the whole time I watched him at UCLA, he played as a big man. So I was interested to see how he transitions to the league. So, all right, better point guard in the Eastern Conference, Jalen Brunson or Tyrese Halliburton?
Brunson.
Brunson. Okay.
Brunson. And
Okay.
and Halliburton, if you're watching, I don't know if you watch these pods, man. I saw your photos on media day, and I am pissed.
Hold
I
on,
am
hold
pissed.
on, hold on. Let me see. Hold on, let me see. Hold on, Tyrese. I gotta find that one.
He was looking like Gregory Hines, man.
He for sure was. I gotta find that.
I
Where,
was tight.
where was it at?
Yo,
Media
can I present
day.
on here too? Can I
Yeah,
present?
yeah. Just let me know if you find it.
Let me see. Yeah, he was looking crazy. He had on like penny loafers or something.
I've seen it. Let me see. I know I've seen it on. I think I saw it on Twitter. All right, let me know if you find it.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for it.
Okay. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. We'll come back to that one.
But to answer your question, I got Brunson. Matter of fact, man, this is a show me year for Tyrese Halliburton.
I was just about to ask you.
There was a lot of front running last year, and at first
Mm-hmm.
I was with it because I was excited for him to have his own situation outside of the Kings. But
Mm-hmm.
then it was given like almost too much. You know, like
I
all
think,
the dancing and jigging around. It's like, bro, just hoop.
and you know what?
Just
You
hoop,
know what,
dog.
D? I think it got big because he really started popping right around the in-season tournament, and they put so much marketing around that in-season tournament, and they made it to the finals, obviously, for the in-season tournament. So I feel like that kind of added to it.
Yeah.
All right, all right, here we go.
You found it?
No, I didn't find it. We'll come back to it. We'll keep
Yeah,
it pushing.
yeah, yeah,
I'll have
yeah.
to pull that one up next time.
It was
Uh,
outrageous though. Just know that.
what's real quick insight? What's going on with the Washington Wizards? They have so many pieces that are tradable, quality NBA players. But what's going on over there?
Man, look, we're gonna get into this more during the season. But tank watch. Tank watch. I call it this
The
season.
coup?
Each year I kind of give it like its own title based on who's coming out. This year it's lag for flag.
Lag
All
for
right.
hey, hey, Coop, go down to DC. We might have something though. We might have something.
I don't know though. I think they might have lost their picks this year though. Like that, I think that might be the cold part. I think they might have lost their picks, but yeah, man. I mean, you got Sar. Sar did not show me anything during summer league. All right,
Wasn't he like was he
he
like
was
0
looking
for
like big
10?
ass Bronny.
Yo, okay, yeah. Hey, I'm putting my notes. We got to do a Washington Wizards deep dive at some point this season. So I'm gonna add that to the notes.
Absolutely.
All right, last one. It's the return of Ben Simmons. What do we expect from Ben Simmons this year?
It's a contract year.
Okay, you know Ben
It's a
loves his money.
contract year.
Ben
So
loves his money.
he might be on his P's and Q's, but again, I think the Nets might lag for flag this year
Okay, okay,
because he's from that area, right? I've got a theory working right now. We'll touch on it later, but I feel
okay,
like Adam Silver wants the Nets to be good. They want to
okay.
build up the Nets brand. I
They need
think
somebody over there.
getting flag that'll be the starting point.
Think about this: if the Knicks is already popping, they get the Nets at least, a potential. New York is fully back on the map. So,
Right.
all right, full transition over. Now, I want to talk a little bit of media day. So we've talked throughout the week. We talked about the importance of media day. Let me get the cameras right. We talked about the importance of media day and players really, taking it, not necessarily taking it seriously per se, but understanding that that's part of their core responsibilities. So what I want to do is talk over a couple players or situations, and I'm going to see if I can bring up some images of media day. So let's start here, and I want to get your thoughts on this one. Let's see here. All right, let me share my screen.
I'm excited.
Where's the image? All right, let's kick it off. First one. First one, we gotta go here.
I'm hot.
First one, we gotta go here.
I'm hot.
LeBron. Oh,
And I hate Bronny's cut.
LeBron James, Bronny, media day. Let's find it. Here we go.
I hate Bronny's cut too, man. What is that? Is that a fade on the sides? What is that?
That's the next generation tape. Oh, hold on. You can't. Hold on. You can't see. Hold on. Let's share. Let me share this one, dude. These are part of the Learning Kings, guys. Sorry. Let's go.
We're still building the pod.
Yeah.
I don't know, Case, and I don't know. Are we dropping audio of this as well at
Yeah,
some
yep.
point?
So
Possibly.
yeah, we're gonna do the audio with the video though.
Yeah. So those listening, who may not be seeing, we're about to look at Bronny and LeBron James Sr. here.
All right, what's the storyline here? What can we expect from Bronny and LeBron this year? What's the reality here?
Man, this is looking like Family Matters.
We got Winslow and Urkel. We got Carl and Steve.
They didn't turn my franchise into a sitcom, man. That's where I'm at with it. I'm not rocking with it. Listen, man, I think that having a player and a father and son on the same team is important, especially a black father, right? All right, don't let that get lost in the sauce, right? A black father and son on the same team, it cannot not be iconic. But here's the
Right.
thing, though: should Bronny be in the NBA? Like, should Bronny even be like?
Yo,
Is Bronny worthy of being that son?
we gone back and forth on this. Bronny's skill set. Should the skills be in? Sorry, guys.
Shout out to Drew.
Sorry.
Drew going
Should
ham right.
Yeah, bro, going crazy. So should the skill set be in the NBA? I don't think so right now. Right? This is G League, bro. This is G League. This is coming off the bench in the G League. But this man's got a spot. So, but am I mad at Braun for it? Nope, not at all. Respect
Nah,
it.
he did.
But,
Bron did what
mhm,
he was supposed to do, right? Like, this is
mhm,
what I'm sure you hope to do as a father.
mhm,
This is what I
mhm.
hope to do as a father, to put our seed in position to succeed, right?
Yep.
But at the same time, at the expense of a franchise, like,
Yep.
I don't
Yep.
know if that, as a fan of the team, I don't know if that just doesn't sit well with me. After watching him in the first preseason game, the narrative is that Bronny is supposed to be a defender, right? Like, he's supposed
Who's
to
he?
be this Drew Holiday, Pat Bev esque, potential defender, guard defender, and Rob Dillingham cooked him for
Cooked
21
him.
points.
Cooked him. Cooked.
Like, come on, man. You
Cooked
can't
him.
even guard Rob Dillingham.
Like your
So
class.
you
Your
can't tell me
class.
that you're going to guard Steph. This is the point guard spot we're talking about here. You're going to guard Steph. You're going to guard Dame. You're going to guard Kyrie. Come on, man. Get out of here with this.
Oh, okay. So here we go. Quick question. This is how we'll wrap this one up. Over under. Bronny plays in 30 games this season. 30 NBA games this season.
Under.
Okay.
Under.
I hope so. I hope so. For the sake of your Lakers, I hope so. All right, let's move on to the next person. We are going to go. There we go. Yeah. All right, for this one, I'm just going to show you a little image. Share my screen. All right.
The anticipation is killing me right now.
Here we go. And we're going to go here. So we are looking at Klay Thompson, first media day at the Dallas Maverick, ready to answer some questions like only Klay knows how to answer. So wait, when I play that sound, could you hear that sound or no?
I
Let me see.
didn't hear it for the
Let me see.
Bron
Okay.
vid.
Let me see. Can you hear that?
Nah.
Okay. Okay. I'll work on that.
I know there's a way that we could get that popping, but I can't
Yeah.
hear it right there.
I'll practice that one. Anywho, what's your thoughts on Klay Thompson?
Yo, I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm I'm
I
not
can't
one of
even
those.
stop laughing, bro. I can't even stop laughing. Thoughts on
Look, I'm
Klay?
not one of those who's writing Clay off. But looking at this image here and that jersey number, He's looking flabby and sick, bro.
Sick. And he got the whole. Hey, is he gonna be the light skinned Jason Terry? He got the Jason Terry number. He got the headband. Yo,
Over
what?
his ears.
Oh
Nah, this ain't it, Clay. This ain't it.
man.
I'm hoping that he has a redemption season. I'm hoping that he finds a nice little pocket in Dallas, a role where he can help them win meaningful games. But wearing number 31, right? Wearing number 31 with the headband over the ears is crazy right now, man. I can't support that at all. Can't do it. And he got answers on his feet. So I can't. Not the Kyrie answers either. Not the
Yo,
cool one.
You sick for that one. Hold on. You sick for that one, bro. All right, here we go. Last one. I'm gonna bring up an image. Here we go. The last one. Eventually, I'm gonna learn how to master this so we can get the
Yeah,
sound and all that.
that Clay image hurt my soul, man. I can't.
All right, here we go. Oh. All right, we are looking at the 2024 potential starting lineup of the Memphis Grizzlies. So we got Ja Morant, Marcus Smart, Desmond Bain, Jaren Jackson Jr., and their first round draft pick, Mr. Big Zach Edey. What's your thoughts on the Memphis Grizzlies as they approach media day and start the season?
Hey, I ain't mad at it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I ain't mad at it. It's definitely dependent on the health, right, of each and every one of these guys, right, and Zach Edey's progression into NBA, scrum, right? Because I think out of all the rookies, we would expect Zach Edey to be the most ready to go with his college pedigree, right? They're not going to be asking him to be, some type of like offensive wonder kind, right? We need you to set a mean screen, roll to that basket, put your hands up, and finish at a high level or shoot free throws at a high level, which he did in college. And then play backline defense, right? Let Triple J switch on to the defender to try to stay off an island. You know what I mean? Like, don't do too much.
I'm interested to see, for one, if Desmond Bain is your 3, because Desmond Bain's what, 6'4"?
Yeah, with short arms.
Short, yeah. So I'm interested to see how they guard wing players. That's one. And then from a Zach Edey standpoint, I'm interested to see how he plays defense. Are they going to kind of treat him like the Rudy Gobert as far as try to keep him on that back line? Triple J is going to have to be doing like a lot of switching and whatnot. So that's going to be interesting to see how they operate. But I'm pretty high on this team this year. I think ceiling for them is the second round of the playoffs. But I do have them as a top 4 seed in the West this year. So
I'm not mad at this picture.
So there's a couple as we transition to NBA bets. There's a couple things I wrote down that I was like I wanted to make sure I covered with you on this episode. So I want to hit on a few over unders for some teams this year. So let's go here. Let's go to team futures. All right. So what's this at? Averages. All right, let me start with players first, and then I'll find my way to teams. All right, first question for you: would you take Joel Embiid at plus 300? So for those that don't know, if you bet $100, you win $300 at plus 300 to win the scoring title again this year. Or would you rather take Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at 450 to win the scoring title? Where would you put your money at?
Man, because last year Shai was like pretty consistent with his output, like almost dialed in with it.
So
So I
consistent.
don't think Shea's gonna have like those moments where he explodes for like 50. You know,
Hmm.
where if I'm picking between the two, I would definitely pick the Joel bet. But
The highs are higher.
yeah, right.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
the
yeah.
way Joel was talking this season, I think his main priority is longevity. The way he was
Okay,
talking this year. So I
okay,
don't know if I would bet on Joel either in the grand scheme.
okay. All right. Would you take? Um. All right. We're gonna go assist leaders this year. Are you taking Trey Young at plus 135, or are you taking Tyrese Halliburton at plus 175? Who do you think is going to lead the league in assists this year?
Man, I think I would bet on Tyrese. I would bet on Tyrese. He just seems like he is pass first. You know, like he could
Hmm.
definitely get a bucket, but I think out of the two, Trey is more inclined to get his own than Tyrese. And Trey also doesn't have the same level of help, in my opinion,
Sure.
that Tyrese does.
Yeah. Next one for you. Let's see. I want to see what your answer says, and I'll tell you what the bet would be. Who's going to be the first player this season to score 60?
Mm,
So I'm just going to give you the options. You got Luca, Joel, Shea, Giannis, Donovan Mitchell, Dame, KD, Steph, Trey Young, Jalen Brown. Didn't even have Jason Tatum in this thing. Oh yeah, he is on. Actually, he's on here. Ant, Tatum, Booker. Who will be your first person that you think would score 60 this season?
I think Luca.
Yeah,
He might have been the first one last year too.
yeah. I think yeah. That's where the heavy money would be on is on Luca at plus 600. So he has the lowest odds to get it. All right, let's. I want to go over a couple over unders. So let's start with the champs, the Celtics. Right now, their over under for win total is 58.5. Would you
Mm.
go over or under? So that's what, losing 20, 24 games? Yeah, roughly 24
Would they
games, 24
win?
losses.
Would they win last year?
Let's look that up real quick. Let me see.
I
Where's
think they
the
got
standing?
64 and 18.
Yeah, 64 and 18. So that's an additional what, 20, oh, six losses this year.
Yeah, I saw.
So,
Yeah,
so
I
last
would
year
take that.
they're 37 and 4 at home, 27 and 14 on the road. So you would take the over 54? Oh, sorry, over 58 and a half?
Yeah, because I could see them winning 60. I wouldn't
Yeah.
see them winning the same amount of games that they did this last season
Yeah.
because that was a lot, right?
Yeah.
But I can see them winning 58 to 60 games.
All right, flip side. Oklahoma City Thunder, number one team, one seed in the West. They won 57 games last year. The over under this year is 56 and a half. Would you take the over or the under?
Over.
Oh, so you think they're going to go over 50? Think they'll hit 57 again, or they'll go even higher than that?
I think everyone should be bullish on OKC this year.
So they're going they tearing stuff up.
Man, honestly, I feel like OKC. I mean, I know we're gonna get into this conversation later, but they might be
You
the
got
favorites out the
they might
West.
be. Yeah.
I think
I mean,
so.
they for sure are. My question would be, I was aligned with the Celtics because you got to think they play the Eastern Conference. What for? What, 20, they play how many? Let me see. They played Eastern Conference. What 50 of their games roughly? I can't remember the split, but nonetheless, they play probably about 50 plus games with the Eastern Conference. So you're saying
No, that
OKC?
can't. You say in the Eastern Conference, right?
Yeah. So Boston Celtics, because they're in the Eastern Conference, they would play the other Eastern Conference teams probably 50-ish of their 82 games.
Right. Right.
So it would be the same for OKC. So 50 of their 82 games is in the West. So that's what's tricky to me is because I can't see them getting 57 again. But what you're saying is they potentially might just steamroll.
Last year they won 36 out of 16 in conference, or yeah,
That's true.
36 and 16
Hmm.
in interconference play.
That's
And I
tough.
think that they're better than they are they're better than they were last year, in my opinion.
Okay.
So I could see them winning 40 interconference games.
And then dominating the East. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see
Okay.
that.
Okay. Okay. I like it. All right. I'd be remiss if I didn't say this one. Let me find them real fast. All right. Our own Sacramento Kings. Win total is last year they won 46 games. This year the over under is 46 and a half games.
Oh yeah, take that.
Take that
Lightweight
over.
Diddy. Lightweight Diddy that.
How many do you think the Kings land at this year?
uh 52.
Ooh. Okay. Just this is so
52. Man, I
you did
got
have
Kings top 5 this
you,
year.
I was gonna say you did have them top five. You did have them top five, so that makes sense.
And I think you're gonna need 50 wins this year to be guaranteed playoff slot. 50
All
plus.
right. Last one. Your LA Lakers. LA Lakers, oof, they won 47 games last year with a healthy Bron, healthy AD. This year, the over under with Bronny James is 43 and a half. So they went down 4 games compared to last year. What do you think? Over or under?
Because I want to say under. Because I low
Oh,
key don't got the Lakers making that.
oh.
A low key, I don't know what we talked about last week, and I need to go back and just double back and hear myself. But I don't know if the Lakers are going to make it this year, man.
At
You know what?
43
I would
games?
say, I would say over. I would say over though.
Okay.
You said
Okay.
43.
43 and a half. Yeah.
Yeah, because they could get 44, 45 wins and still not make it. So I would say
Yeah.
over.
Warriors were the 10 seed last year at 46. So, yeah, they'd
Yeah.
probably be right in that little mix. All right. Some good NBA talk for you guys. I want to shift to one last thing before we get out of here for the day. So, I don't know if you heard, there's a new song. We're gonna talk about some hip hop real quick. New song came out with J. Cole, T Grizzly. And in the song is called
Man, I still haven't slapped that.
It's Okay. I'm gonna give you just the lyrics, so we're gonna talk about that real quick.
All right.
So Cole got off. Pause. He got off. He did his thing, per usual. But let me let's see. All right, here we go. It's called "Blow for Blow." To start off the song, J. Cole says, "Blow for blow, Cole flow, just prestigious. Sweats and tees, no unnecessary accessories. The goat just from features." We're gonna dig into that right there. The GOAT just from features. So we're not even gonna talk about J. Cole being the GOAT because I don't know if that's even worth the that's not
He
even worth the
gotta stop.
conversation right now.
Hopefully, this is before everything popped off because he gotta
I think
stop with
this
that.
so we're not even gonna talk about that. But what I do want to know is who are your GOATs from features? So who is your top five? So I'm
Mm,
gonna share my top five featured artists,
mm.
right? Who I feel like, have the best features or whatever. Maybe not the best features, just who are GOAT features. At number five, I'd be remiss if I didn't put Nate Dogg on there,
Mm.
especially being from the West Coast. Nate Dogg, Till I Collapse. What next episode was it? Got Area Codes with Ludacris,
Mm-hmm.
Regulators, like Lay Low. Nate, um,
He's
Nate
a hook
Dogg.
hook god.
He was the first one growing up that he was the hook guy. Later on was like T-Pain, like people like that, but like he was like the hook guy. And I always felt like if Nate Dogg was on your song, like it was a hit, and he
That's a
was
banger.
killing the
Yeah.
hooks. Yeah. Number four, I probably put J Cole. J Cole he's been crushing features now for the last few years, and even early on, like if Cole's on a feature, like he was spitting, song was good. Most likely, he's going to be somewhat of a hit. Number three was my personal favorite growing up was Fab. Fab on a feature, it was usually like R&B hits, make me better. Like any type of feature Fab was on growing up, he gassed, right? And it was always I knew the Fab's part. He had the double entendres, like Fab's flow, style, and everything. That's kind of what really got me into hip hop. I'll have to tell that story at some point. But Fab would be my number three. Number two, yo, Aubrey Drake Graham. Like Drake's got to be up there, bro. Like he is the hit maker. He's been on Future, Rick Ross, like all these guys. He's pretty much put them on the map with any type of feature that he's done. So like, regardless if he's the GOAT, regardless how you feel about Drake, I feel like Drake on a feature is going to be a hit, and most likely he's going to spit on there too. I mean, there's been some hot lines like, "Bitch, you wasn't with me when I was shooting in the gym." Like that line. There's so many like little lines like Drake's said over
Mm-hmm.
the years that just are just they will go down to history. And number one, Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne's from 2006 to what, maybe 2015, maybe 16. I can't remember when that fall off was. Wayne might have did 300-400 features, man, and crushed, killed all of them. Cool thing I like about Wayne though is he'll do hip hop, he'll do pop, he'll do rock, he'll do any type of features, and he's gonna spit, he's gonna kill it, and he'll probably even forget his own lines because he'd be so damn high. But
Right.
Wayne would be my GOAT feature artist. So I wanted to get your take. What's your thoughts on your features, your GOAT features?
Man, Wayne is the top five.
Yeah, Wayne. The different
Well,
what Wayne said. When
well,
I said my swagger like us, he's like, he got multiple swag. I forgot my swag is multiple personality. I forgot what he said, but yeah, Wayne
Lil
is top five.
Wayne, Lil Wayne, Lil Wayne, Lil Wayne, Lil Wayne.
Dylan,
Not
Dylan, Dylan, Dylan.
no, but he would definitely be the number one on the list,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah,
Like you said, just the sheer volume of features.
yeah.
But like not just any features, like bangers, like bangers,
Bangers.
memorable
Mm-hmm.
verses,
Mm-hmm.
even if they aren't hits, like they're the cannon. You know what I
Yo, yo,
mean?
mix. We didn't even talk
That
about
verse in
mixtape Wayne.
itself, right there, made
Mixtape
that
Wayne is
song it.
crazy. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that made that song what it was, and I don't even listen to the rest of the verses.
No, no, no. You
Catch
go,
up
bro. You
like
fast forward.
mayonnaise.
You just fast forward. Like, yeah, yeah. That's just stupid. Yeah, Wayne for sure.
So not in any order, but just off the top of my head, I would also throw Jada on that list. Jadakiss, Jada's got to be
Mm-hmm.
there.
You're right.
If he's
Yeah.
on your feature, he's gonna cook.
Mm-hmm.
It's be a classic Jada verse. He's not gonna
Yeah.
go. Jada's like Jada to me is like a pocket passer. You know, he's
Mm.
like a guy that is extremely reliable in the pocket, and when it collapses on him, he's just gonna step up, a couple steps and let that thing go. And sure
Mm-hmm.
enough, it's a guy wide open, 10 yards, 15 yards, outside the end zone, ready to run that thing in. And he just never, like, I never hear Jadakiss verse, and I'm like, man, he could have, or man, why is he on? It's always like it seems to fit for whatever
Yep.
reason.
Yep. He picks and chooses the right ones too. Like it's the right. It's the right one for him, right?
So I would have Jada on there. Controversial pick here. Controversial pick, but kind of in line with your Nate Dogg. I would have to say R. Kelly.
Hey, you know what?
Don't cancel the
Hey,
pod.
okay.
Don't cancel the pod.
Hey, I can't knock you though. I can't knock you that I'm a flirt still slap to this day though. Like, that's,
R.
like
Kelly would
yo.
come on and pretty
Mm-hmm.
much just make the song, it would elevate the record to like, a whole different status. So I would
Mm-hmm.
have to put him on there. Um, I would also throw on Drake as far as features are concerned. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
how many artists has he made
Yeah.
with the feature? You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So Drake would be on there, and then I guess last would probably be man, it's tough. This is tough because like I want to say like I want to show love to like Snoop. Like I feel like
So
Snoop got a
it's
lot of
funny.
features.
He does. He has the most ever. And I was gonna put him on my list, but I put the other ones. But Snoop, when I looked it up, Snoop has I think the most features by any artist of all time.
Yeah, I feel like every time I hear
Yeah,
Snoop, it's not his song. You know
that's
what I mean?
that
So
sounds about right.
yeah,
That
so
sounds
I'd be
about right.
remiss without putting him on there too.
No, I think those are. I like your list too, though. I like your list. Kanye was the only one I felt like I maybe should I add that on mine, but I went with the other guys instead. But no, you got a good balance of artists on your list too, though. So all right, my dude, that's that's all we got for today. So next week we're gonna talk about some Western Conference stuff. I got a couple games I want to throw in next week too. Hopefully we can kind of get Emil back on here and we can kind of get the triangle offense running again next week. So, all right, bro.
Any games you're looking forward to catching? Any preseason you're looking to watching, or are you really worried about preseason right now?
Honestly, I'm not big on preseason. I'm not big on preseason. I just because I feel like it's like the NFL preseason. Like nobody really takes it seriously. I don't know who's playing, and honestly, like you'll respect this. At this time, like my time is so much valuable now, especially with kids. So if I'm a lock into a preseason game, like I need to see y'all playing. And I feel like I'll just watch highlights when it comes to preseason. So the one thing I would say, I just want to see healthy teams. And I'm really excited. More than anything, I'm excited about week one of NBA because players don't realize, well, teams don't realize that they ask during week one of the NBA, right? So you'll have a Jordan Poole 50-point explosion during week one, and then the
Right,
rest of the year he won't top 15 points, right? So I'm
right,
excited
right.
about that first week, opening couple nights to see like who's really backing at it. So I want to do a couple player deep dives next time. We'll talk Western Conference and we'll talk some other stuff per usual.
That sounds good to
All right,
me.
y'all. Appreciate y'all listening and later.
Peace.